Hello and welcome back to Mr. Duper. Today I'm going to be going over army composition and vanilla Shogun 2. Now I do have a mod or two, but don't install it, but don't worry about that. Now the nice thing about Shogun 2 is basically all the units are the same with a couple unique units and a couple improved units. But for the most part, it's all the same units, and that's a nice thing because it's all Japanese. Now, I'm not going to be going over multiplayer because I'm no good at multiplayer. I normally just play single player, but early game, doesn't matter what clan you are. We're going to do a Yari and Boashiguru army. Doesn't need to be full stacks. You don't have to have all 20, but that's a little bit too many, but about 5 bow and about as many Yari as you can get in. And with Yari, put them in the Yari wall. That's about it. Honestly, that's the easiest way to win a battle because they'll even beat Yari Samurai when they're in Yari wall. Now, more middle game, start replacing your Yari Ashiguru. I stay away from Yari Samurai. Just don't do it. Such a bad unit. I mean, they got 6 attacks, 6 defense, and 5 armor, which isn't bad, but they get outclassed by every other samurai. They really do. Naginata Samurai will beat them with ease. So will Katana. So will Nodachi. They're just, by the time you get to samurai armies, they're kind of pointless, you know? So stay away from them. So depending on what kind of army you want, these 3 units here, these should be your main. If you're looking for a well-rounded army, stick with Naginata or Katana, and you want the cav bonus on the end. So you might want like 4 Naginata Samurai, 2 on each end. You're gonna want like what's that? 4 or 5, like 6 Katana Samurai for your main line. They're pretty powerful against other infantry. Now, here's the thing: Katana Samurai will still lose to other better units, but they're a good, well-rounded unit. Get some bow samurai. Get like 4 or 5 samurai, and then you want cav. Now, basically, there's just a couple of types of cav that you want to stick to. There's the light cav, which is great for early game. These guys will kill anything early game. Then there's the bow cav, which they got their uses, but I don't really like them that much. Katana cav is kind of pointless because they're only good against infantry, and you're like, oh, that's great because when you get into melee with infantry, they'll cut them down. Wrong. Because there's another type of cav that's very important. The Yadi cav. And these guys wreck all of the cav. So, let's say you have 4 Katana cav, right? And it comes into contact with 4 Yardi. Who do you think's going to win that fight? So you just lost your entire cav right there. So I would avoid Katana cav like the plague. It's pointless. There's also other special cavs that you can get, like you can get the Great Guard and all this other crazy stuff, but that's all late game, limited units. You can only have a couple, so I'd avoid that. Now, one thing I see people are very tempted to get is Matchlock. Matchlock can be useful, they're great, but you kind of got to work them like cav because you got to bring them around the side because they get cut to shreds by any archers. So they're not really that good in that aspect. Another thing I see people wanting to use is siege. And siege weapons suck. There's just no 2 ways around it. The only thing these guys do is get the enemy to attack you when you're the attacking side because you outrange them. But other than that, it doesn't do anything. And they're expensive, the upkeep's high, not to mention they'll slow your campaign movement down, not worth it. Fire rockets are pretty good, but it's a pretty heavy investment. They are really great units. Out of all the gunpowder units, these guys are the best. Just a lot of investment in the tech tree, so all that investment for me isn't usually worth it. And with the Kisho ninjas and the firebomb throwers, even the Hanzo shadows, I mean, these guys are really good, but then you can only recruit one of them. It's kind of pointless to me to recruit, you know what I mean? But these guys just kind of suck in general. They're just not really good units. They won't do the inflicted damage that's needed, you know what I mean? But yeah, so most late game armies should look like this, and if you're feeling adventurous, like you want to do more, there's the bow, not just the bow, but the warrior monks, not the warrior nuns, the warrior monks. These are really good units, especially the bow warrior monks. These guys will cut to shreds anything. But here's the thing: 1 melee defense, 2 armor. These guys are glass cannons. 55 reload skill, 60 accuracy. Excuse me there, had a hiccup. Compared to 40-40. But these guys can handle themselves a little bit better with a 4 armor. Even though there's only 75, makes a world of difference. And with these warrior monks, they'll actually lose to regular Nagin. Not Naginata Samurai and Katana Samurai, but here's the thing: what makes them great. You get a little bit of experience on these guys. Not to mention the war cry. They cut to shreds everybody, you know. You can even recruit them in a place that has a blacksmith and an encampment, and put an encampment on it to increase it from 2 armor to, I believe it's 6 armor rather. Very respectable. So yeah, that's your basic setup. And oh, I forgot to say, if you want an aggressive army instead of a well-rounded one, stick with the Naginata Samurai. You want that. Get no Dachi Samurai, because these guys have a Banzai bonus, and get more Yari Cav. So you dominate the Cav battle. You dominate the charge bonus. Look at that charge bonus. It's like 28. So if you want an aggressive army, use the Nodachi. If you want a rounded army, use the Katana. Heck, if you want a balanced army, you can even use all Naginata Samurai. But those are the main units you want to stick with if you have no idea what you're doing. Alright, hope I helped some of you guys, and see you next time.